On Thursday, First Son Zaid held his third lemonade sale on the lawns of State House. The goal of the fundraising event is to raise awareness of animal welfare in Guyana. Dozens of families, children, and animal lovers came out to the event to enjoy a cup of delicious lemonade and support the growing animal welfare movement.
I encourage everyone to come out and support Zay's Lemonade Sale because this sale is not about just tasting great, tasty lemonade, but it's also about giving back to our animals. And these are our friends that doesn't have a voice, so we want to give back to them. Usually we give to every shelter. Well, we try to capture every shelter, animal shelter in the country, and it's basically about decreasing the overpopulation of stray animals. So this entire initiative is about the spay and neuter campaign. We have invited all our orphan kids. So all the kids from our various homes are here today. It's about 150 to 200 kids. So whenever we have any initiative or any celebration or any function rather at State House, we tend to invite them to come out and celebrate with us, to participate in whatever activity we have going on at State House because, we always say this is the people's home. So it's welcome to everyone.
With the support of First Lady Arya Ali and His Excellency President Mohammed Irfan Ali and wide cross-section of Guyanese, the initiative amplifies the message of compassion and responsibility toward animals in Guyana.
It is now time for the weekly digest. We're going to find out what our ministers have been up to this week. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Susan Rodriguez met with Caribbean Tourism Organization representatives to advance preparations for the State of the Tourism Industry Conference 2026. Guyana will host the conference for the first time from October 5th to 9, with discussions focusing on venue selection, programming, and logistics. The conference will position Guyana to strengthen its role in regional tourism policy, expand its MICE tourism sector, and enhance opportunities for investment and industry growth. The Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vidya Prasad, visited one of the ministry's children's home on Wednesday to inspect ongoing renovations aimed at creating a safer and more nurturing environment for the children and also reviewed the stores department to ensure consistent availability of essential supplies for their daily needs. Final works are being completed on the Ministry of Housing's new headquarters at Plantation Houston, East Bank of Demerara. Minister of Housing Colin Crowell and Minister within the Ministry, Vanessa Ben, along with Permanent Secretary Bishram Kuben, visited the facility to assess progress on the nearly finished building. It is expected to accommodate over 400 staff and improve service delivery, with operations anticipated to commence by the first half of 2026. As part of the government's ongoing efforts to strengthen large-scale agricultural development, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa met with representatives of the consortium leading the commercial cultivation of corn and soybeans in Guyana. Minister Mustafa was updated on the production levels which were steadily advancing the country towards self-sufficiency and potential export capacity. In a separate engagement, the minister met with a high-level team of Brazilian investors to explore opportunities for expanded agricultural investments. The local government minister, Priyamanik Chand, turned aside for a $40 million Eccles Ramsburg Neighborhood Democratic Council office on the east bank of Demerara. This marks a key step in strengthening local governance and improving service delivery. The new facility, to be completed within 4 months, replaced a dilapidated structure and was designed to provide a safer, more efficient, and accessible space for staff and residents. Between March 24 and 27, 2026, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Yu Todd, engaged in several bilateral meetings with ministerial and diplomatic representatives from Africa, Europe, Australia, and CARICOM. The meetings focused on advancing Guyana's foreign policy and strengthening economic and cooperative initiatives. Housing Minister Colin Crowell, along with Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Sarah Brown-Shadiq, handed over solar panels to residents of Kumaka and Mora in Region 1. A total of 29 households from Kumaka and 18 households from Mora benefited from the initiative, which aims to improve access to reliable and sustainable energy for hinterland communities. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips said the government of Guyana was advancing a modern, decentralized fire service to strengthen emergency response nationwide. He emphasized that firefighters must be equipped to respond to all types of disasters. Speaking at the Guyana Fire Service Officers Conference 2026, he outlined plans for a hybrid model combining professional and community-based units, announced that each neighborhood democratic council would be equipped with a fire tender to improve response times.
At the end of it all, it is the security of the people that matters most. So today is not simply the launch of a new program. Rather, it marks a meaningful step forward in our country's development and how we prepare for the future of Guyana's national security.
The launch of the Government of Guyana's Service Center in Region 2 marked a significant step toward faster and more efficient public service delivery. Minister of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation Zulfikar Ali and his team engaged with residents on the ground, demonstrating how the one-stop hub brought together essential services, including business support, identification, immigration, and environmental services, all in a single location. The Guyana Civil Aviation Authority launched its Women in Aviation Conference in Georgetown on March 30th, 2026, bringing together key stakeholders to advance female participation in the sector. Delivering the feature address, Minister Indar called for greater inclusion of women, reaffirming the government of Guyana's commitment to building a modern and world-class aviation industry. Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning, Keoma Griffith, celebrated with 613 graduates of the Board of Industrial Training from Regions 3 and 4 at the National Cultural Centre. He highlighted that they are not just certificate holders but vital contributors to Guyana's workforce and key drivers of the nation's continued growth and transformation. Minister Bishop Juan Edgel urged the Guyana National Shipping Corporation Limited at its 44th annual general meeting to strengthen competitiveness and maximize the value of its waterfront assets to meet growing market demands and achieve greater profitability. Minister of Education Sonia Parag engaged key partners in advancing Guyana's education sector as she received the project brief on the National Water Purification Project, FLOW, which was set to deliver clean water to 155 schools nationwide while promoting sustainability and student welfare, with initial rollout in Regions 3 and 6. As Guyana launches its 60th independence anniversary celebrations, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports Charles Ramsden delivered a message centered on pride, unity, and national vision. He highlighted the success of Mashramani as a reflection of the country's vibrant and resilient spirit, while emphasizing that Guyanese culture represents a globally recognized brand rooted in unity among the 6 races. And with that, we have wrapped up another episode of Weekly Digest, where we highlighted Guyana's path to transformation. I'll see you next time.
Welcome to the President's Diary, your official update on the leadership of His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. This week, the President engaged with high-level officials, commissioned the Karaksamay airstrip, attended the Good Friday service, and attended one of the most anticipated events in Letep.
The head of state met with outgoing World Bank Country Director Lilia Burunchiuk at State House. He expressed deep appreciation for the institution's strong support in Guyana's development. The President highlighted the ongoing collaboration in education, climate resilience, and drainage and irrigation, including the US $6 million drainage pump project aimed at strengthening flood protection across coastal communities. Meanwhile, President Ali met with the new board of directors of the Irokrama International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development. He reviewed plans, offered guidance, and encouraged alignment with the Global Biodiversity Alliance, while reaffirming the center's role in managing 371,000 hectares of forests as a living laboratory that balances conservation, research, and sustainable development. The head of state met with the new Director General of UNESCO, Kalin El Inani, where he emphasized that Guyana's development path required a strong partnership with the organization.
He highlighted that the government prioritized education, children, culture, history, art, heritage, and the orange economy as key drivers of national growth and economic diversification. President Dr. Ali delivered the opening address at the Seventh-day Adventist Caribbean Union Conference Regional Camp at Blue Creek, where the theme, The Rise of an Empire, brought together young people in fellowship and purpose.
This is the ground that will produce the Joseph of tomorrow. Young men and women of integrity. Young men and women who will save their families, who will provide leadership for their families, because these grounds in this camp will build the Josephs of tomorrow.
Here are some images from Good Friday services attended by President Ali at the Rumvelt Life Improvement Center in Avocado Square, East Rumvelt, and Life Spring Ministries at Chatamarga, East Coast, Demerara. On Saturday, President Ali held a community meeting in the village of Rukumutu, where he listened to the concerns of the residents and offered solutions. President Ali then commissioned the 993 million Karasabay airstrip. The project spans a length of 3,000 feet by 50 feet and will create better connectivity for the region.
This concludes this week's President's Diary, reflecting the continued service and statesmanship of His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. Thank you for watching, and do join us for another edition next week.
Residents in Region 1 are celebrating a major milestone in healthcare access. The villages of Wanakai and Tobago now have their very first health post facilities. For just over 400 residents in both communities, it means improved access to primary healthcare. Before this, anyone seeking medical attention was forced to endure dangerous journeys upriver to access health facilities.
I'm so proud about it for my kids. Father, so far with my first child, I struggle. Father, from me, they like 1 hour before I reach to the health post.
Well, we go there in case like the children get fever or some other, sharpen and so, right? We got to go Mabuma there. We have to go from here till at the junction remote, and before we get to the hospital, Mabuma Hospital, we have to wait maybe like hours before we get up there.
And now, residents will benefit from faster emergency response, improved maternal and child care, vaccinations, checkups, and health education administered by their very own community health workers.
It's an honor serving them, and it's build trust and to respect everyone's needs and provide safe healthcare for everyone. Well, I feel happy. It's my pleasure to serve them. Well, I've always wanted to serve them.
I know that getting to areas it can be really challenging, both by road. I see that having health facilities in these small satellite villages is going to be very important, as residents of these villages can be better able to access health services.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony participated in the commissioning ceremonies on Tuesday. He underscored the importance of expanding access to essential services, especially in the hinterland regions.
There were many communities who needed health services, but when you go to those communities in the past, those health services or the communities themselves were neglected. We decided that we wanted to change that. President Ali government, we decided that every community must either have access to health care, education, and other social amenities so that those communities can grow. There mustn't be a distinction between the services that you're getting in the interior and those on the coastline. And we have been working to achieve that.
Currently, I'm so elated seeing that this community has their own health facility because I know back then it used to use church. I'm so happy that the residents of this community can have access to better health care.
And I'm so proud about my chairman and our president that he built our health tools for my kids. And I'm so proud about everything that I thank God for what he done for me.
It's time for this episode of Weekly Digest, a look at what our ministers have been up to across the country. The week wrapped up with a nationwide cleanup campaign that saw government ministers joining citizens from all walks of life to lend a hand in keeping our communities clean and beautiful. We will return to this in a few minutes, but first, let's look at the other events and initiatives that have been making headlines. Minister Susan Rodriguez officially launched the first community business clinic of 2026 at Westminster Secondary School. Bringing together key government agencies, the clinic aims to provide small business owners and entrepreneurs with streamlined access to registration, compliance, financing, and advisory services in a single location. Later in the week, Minister Rodriguez attended the opening of a new court store at Vreeden Hope in Region 3, evidence of the growing confidence businesses and investors have in the government's management of Guyana's economy.
We have conducted in the last few years about 16 of these business clinics, benefiting 400 businesses across all 10 administrative regions. Now, this business clinic is new in the sense that these types of outreaches and training and capacity building have always existed.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security, the Honorable Vindhya Prasad, met with the Gender Affairs Bureau and the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Policy Unit. The objective is to strengthen coordination on gender mainstreaming and violence prevention. Discussions focused on closer collaboration to engage men, women, boys, and girls in building positive values, strengthening emotional well-being, and promoting a safer and more equitable society. Minister of Housing Honorable Colin Crowell and Minister within the Ministry of Housing Honorable Vanessa Ben met with officials from the National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited. Their discussions focused on advancing greater cooperation on the acquisition of state lands under Nestle's purview and the regularization of informal settlements to support the expansion of the National Housing Program. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa attended a meeting hosted by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. The roundtable discussions were held in Washington, D.C. Minister Mustafa outlined the major steps that Guyana has taken to modernize its agriculture sector, highlighting the adaptation of climate-smart practices, digital tools, and stronger support for small farmers. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired the Honorable Mark Phillips highlighted major progress on the Wales Gas-to-Energy project in Region 3, noting steady advancement with pipeline installations set to begin shortly and a growing workforce expected to peak at up to 1,600 workers. During an earlier engagement in the week, Prime Minister Phillips commissioned Aurora Solar Farm in Region 7. He described it as one of the largest solar farms in Guyana that will cut approximately 46,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually. Residents and members of the business community in Leeds, number 51 village and the surrounding quarantine areas were updated on the Palmyra to Molson Creek Highway project. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgil and his technical team engaged with residents on the 13-kilometer Lot 2 from Bloomfield to number 54 village. They provided updates on the key engineering and social impact during the construction period. Residents and stakeholders were also introduced to the contractor and supervisory consultant to ensure a greater level of transparency. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony on Saturday turned the sod for the Bartica Regional Health Hospital. This new hospital marks a significant step toward improving healthcare delivery and expanding access to quality services. Dr. Anthony underscored the government's commitment to ensuring equitable, high-quality healthcare for all. Minister of Education Sonia Parag visited the Guyana Digital School Hub at Cotton Field, Region 2 on Thursday. The minister toured the facility and engaged with staff. Discussions focused on expanding access to quality education. Minister Parag emphasized that education must not be limited because of geography. She highlighted the hub's role in providing students with access to free digital lessons across multiple subjects and supporting learning across the Cameroon-Suriname region. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, deployed 22 waste management trucks to Region 6. The initiative was led by Minister Honorable Priya Manachan, who said this was another commitment by the government to strengthen sanitation services across all NDCs and municipalities. The initiative will improve garbage collection, enhance efficiency, and support cleaner, healthier communities as part of the national drive to modernize solid waste management. As mentioned earlier, ministers were fully engaged in a national cleanup exercise, working together to enhance the environment and make communities cleaner and more beautiful. We leave you with these images.
Welcome to the President's Diary, capturing a week of leadership defined by unity, service, and progress. His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali engaged families at the Kingston Seawall on Easter Monday, but it was a week with much more. The President took steps to help strengthen regional ties among CARICOM nations, while also honoring members of the Guyana Defense Force for their humanitarian service in Jamaica.
But first, let's begin with a long Easter weekend. President Ali came out to the Kingston Seawall Esplanade on Easter Monday, greeting families and listening to their stories, sharing their joy as they celebrate with kite flying, music, and food. On Tuesday, President Ali paid tribute to former Surinamese President Chandrokia Prasad Santokhi. Attending the funeral service of Santokhi, the president described him as a brother and astute statesman. President Ali reflected on their close bond of friendship, sharing that he received Santokhi's final message over Eid al-Fitr, the Muslim celebration marking the end of Ramadan. On Wednesday, President Ali delivered a powerful tribute to the ranks of the Guyana Defense Force during a medal decoration ceremony at Base Camp Guyana. He commended their outstanding service in humanitarian and disaster relief efforts in Jamaica following Hurricane Melissa. One officer and 41 ranks were awarded the Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Response Medal for their courage, compassion, and dedication.
Guyana did what any responsible and compassionate family member would do. We responded. We responded not out of obligation, but out of conviction, not out of convenience, but out of commitment. Our humanitarian and disaster relief mission to Jamaica was a living expression of regional solidarity.
Following his engagement at Camp Ghana, President Ali held bilateral talks with CARICOM Chair and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Drew. Their discussions ended with the signing of a series of memoranda of agreements in areas of agriculture and food security, government modernization, and defense collaboration. President Ali welcomed St. Kitts and Nevis into the Global Biodiversity Alliance, an initiative that he has championed and continues to advocate for. At State House, the head of state held a working lunch with the chair of the United States Export-Import Bank, Mr. John Jovanovic, and his delegation. Discussions focused on key development priorities, including the Gaster Energy Project and strengthening cooperation. Following their high-level discussions, the President and members of Cabinet, along with Mr. Jovanovic and the U.S. delegation, joined First Lady Arya Ali and First Son Zain Ali for his annual lemonade sale. The fundraising event raised an impressive $10 million for animal welfare in Guyana. President Dr. Irfan Ali and Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Pusat Bazezar held talks in Port of Spain on Friday. They agreed to advance and strengthen bilateral ties, focusing on areas such as food security, energy integration, technology exchange, human capital development and security, while also committing to establish a working group to remove trade barriers, boost competitiveness, and support future collaboration. Prime Minister Pusat Bazezar agreed to pay an official visit to Guyana to advance and consolidate economic relations.
That concludes this week's episode of the President's Diary, reflecting the continued service and statesmanship of His Excellency, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you another edition.
This new Aubrey Barker Road is expected to significantly benefit commuters and residents by reducing travel time. The new road also improves connectivity and accessibility and links South Roinville to the east coast of Demerara through the Ogle Bypass Road. South Roinville is also now connected to the east bank of Demerara through the Heroes Highway. This new road will be officially commissioned by His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali on Monday.
Residents of Bushlot and Bat Settlement in Region 5 are now benefiting from 2 newly commissioned recreational parks. The new facilities are designed for the enjoyment of thousands of families. The facilities are equipped with modern amenities, including play areas, ensuring comfort and accessibility for residents.
I'm happy. I'm very happy because at least I'm living in the area, and it's a good idea, good initiative, because normally I have to take the kids to New Amsterdam for them to play. So now that we have the park closer here, it's better for me.
Well, I feel very excited and very happy because in our days we never had something like this, and I'm happy that our children can benefit from this initiative of the First Lady.
The initiative forms part of the National Beautification Project led by the Office of the First Lady, the Ministry of Public Works, and other private partners. First Lady Arya Ali attended the commissioning ceremonies and highlighted that national development often highlights roads and large-scale projects, and equal value must be placed on creating environments where families can gather and children can thrive.
This park serves not only as a space for recreation, but also as a catalyst for the promotion of healthy lifestyles and strengthening of community cohesion. In an increasingly digitized world where social engagement and time spent outdoors continues to decline, parks like these have become absolutely necessary, as they significantly contribute to the social fabric of our community, whether one is walking for health reasons or simply enjoying the fresh air.
She appealed to residents to guard against vandalism and ensure that the park serves the purpose for which it was built.
I want to thank the government of Guyana and the First Lady for making this a possibility in our community.
Agriculture efforts have been strengthened in Region 3 with the commissioning of the new 58.5 million agro-processing facility at Canal No. 1 Polder. The facility will transform agricultural products into value-added goods, significantly increasing farmers' income, reducing post-harvest losses, and creating year-round employment, particularly in rural areas. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony on Saturday, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said the facility will harness the region's potential.
For too long, we have been producing primary product and exporting primary product. So today in Canal here, Polder, we are now harnessing the potential. And agro-processing, as we all know in Guyana, is not only about value adding. It is about transforming the way we do things. It's about creating new opportunities. It's about empowering people. Not only the traditional set of people, when I mean traditional set, our male folks.
The facility was deliberately established in Canal No. 1 since it is a community recognized as one of the most productive agricultural areas in the region. It will operate free of cost and support small and medium enterprises.
That we have somewhere to recreate in the afternoon, I like the weekends, because the children them didn't have anywhere to go all the time. So we got to go way far from here, sometimes 63. We just go to one till up by Unity. So that we have one here, it's really great.
Well, I feel very excited and very happy because in our days we never had something like this, and I'm happy that our children can benefit from this initiative of the First Lady. I want to thank the government of Guyana and the First Lady for making this a possibility in our community.
Well, I'm happy. I'm very happy because at least I'm living in the area, and it's a good idea, good initiative, because normally I have to take the kids to New Amsterdam for them to play. So now that we have the park closer here, it's better for me. I know the kids will be happy. I am happy. I'm really happy. I'm proud of this initiative.
It's a very nice thing because you can come on the weekends or an afternoon, somewhere you can come and chill out and bring the kids out, and it's something very nice. We're very happy about it, and we would like to thank the President for it.
I feel great about this park because we never had something like this for the kids them. Thank the First Lady for doing this for the community.
Nine neighborhood democratic councils in Region 5 are now better equipped to tackle waste in their communities. On Friday, they received garbage compactor trucks at the Hakes Bush Sanitary Facility on the East Bank Damararo, bringing the region's total to 10 after Rosignal received its truck last month.
Let me thank the government of Guyana for giving us this garbage truck, which will enhance the garbage collection within our NDC area. We are facing a lot of challenges from picking up garbage from residents, and I hope that this truck will curb the situation within the NDC.
because a lack of this equipment, we have some area garbage pile up, and with this initiative, we would minimize garbage disposal in our communities.
The handover was led by Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips and Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manikchan.
This is not a government that is taking away the responsibility of any NDC, any mayor, and town council, because there's a view out there that we're taking away people's responsibility.
He warned that poor waste management could undermine the country's development gains, pointing to the thousands of vehicles entering Guyana every quarter as one driver of rising waste.
We have a very important role. We have a very important role to play. So while we're giving out the trucks will move through the community on a regular schedule to do their work at the household level, at the NDC level. We have to be very supportive and we have to work hand in glove if we are to control and be on top of this whole issue of solid waste disposal in Guyana.
Friday's handing over ceremony brings the total number of garbage trucks delivered to 55.
This brings the number to 55 garbage trucks to our 70 NDCs across the country. We will be completing 55 today, and 5 municipalities out of the 10 municipalities we have. And I tell you, before June, every NDC, every municipality will have at least one garbage truck.
Friday's handover is one part of a wider push to modernize waste management across Guyana, including upgrades to Higgs-Bush, expanded landfill infrastructure in other regions, and new recycling and composting programs. Guyanese no longer have to travel overseas for specialized eye care, with the opening of the country's first privately owned eye hospital on New Market Street. The Optic Eye Hospital, built by Optic Vision Care, was inaugurated on Friday evening by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. The $1 billion facility offers a full range of ophthalmology services, from routine examinations and advanced diagnostics to specialized surgeries.
The opening of Optic Eye Hospital fits perfectly into this national vision. This hospital expands national capacity. It increases patient choice. It creates employment for doctors, nurses, technicians, administrators, and support staff. It encourages new technologies and professional training. It raises standards, and it sends a message to investors everywhere that Guyana is ready for world-class healthcare development.
President Ali added that private healthcare plays a strategic role, fostering competition, lifting quality, and broadening the options available to patients. He tied the opening to a bigger national goal, positioning Guyana as a medical tourism hub by 2030, drawing patients from the Caribbean, the diaspora, North America, and beyond.
We are here to encourage quality healthcare. We're here to build stronger partnerships between public and private providers in delivering healthcare services to our people.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony noted Optic was among the first private providers to back the government's eye testing and spectacles subsidy program launched in 2024.
I think
This is going to be adding a significant contribution to the development of eye care in Guyana.
For Optic's Chief Executive Officer Danny Narain, Friday's opening was a moment of gratitude to the government, his family, and the private institutions that helped bring the project to life. Guyana Office for Investment Chief Investment Officer Dr. Peter Ramsaru also addressed the gathering, pointing to the significance of local investors delivering on the President's health sector vision.
It's time for this episode of Weekly Digest, a look at what our ministers have been up to across the country. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Honorable Susan Rodriguez arrived in Miami on Tuesday to participate in Sea Trade Cruise Global 2026 at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Her visit forms part of ongoing efforts to advance discussions within the cruise tourism sector and strengthen regional partnerships. Guyana's delegation met with His Excellency Numan Goldenbush, Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, on the sidelines of the 152nd Inter-Parliamentary Union Assembly in Istanbul to advance parliamentary diplomacy and strengthen bilateral relations. Led by Speaker Manzoor Nadir, the delegation included Minister Bindi Prasad and Minister Kwame McCoy. Honorable Vanessa Ben, Minister within the Ministry of Housing, and Honorable Stephen Jacobs, Minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, attended the 5th session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on People of African Descent in Geneva, Switzerland. Minister Jacobs and the delegation actively contributed to key discussions on inclusive policies, economic empowerment, and community resilience of African descent. The Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, held high-level discussions with officials of the Dominican Republic. The aim is to expand Guyana's fruit sector, particularly the introduction of 15 high-yield mango varieties and 10 avocado varieties. The mango and avocado projects are set to begin in July, following the arrival of planting materials from the Dominican Republic in June. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manichan, underscored the importance of strengthening local government bodies, noting past challenges in waste collection due to limited resources and poor maintenance. So far, a total of 55 garbage trucks have been distributed across regions 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9, significantly improving waste management capacity nationwide. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Egil on Sunday attended the official opening and handover of the new Barjagla Demerara River Bridge office building. The handover marks a significant step in strengthening infrastructure management while enabling the Special Projects Unit to expand its national operations from a new base. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has advanced healthcare access in Region 1 through the commissioning of 2 new health centers in Wanakay and Tobago villages. The Wanakay and Tobago facilities will support over 400 residents. He also handed over 7 boats to support riverine communities. The boats will enable mobile clinics to deliver vaccination programs and emergency response to residents, reducing the burden of long-distance travel for healthcare. Minister of Education Sonia Parag was in Paris this week, attending the 224th session of the UNESCO Executive Board. Minister Parag was participating in high-level discussions on Guyana's contribution to global discussions on educational transformation. Minister Kioma Griffith on Wednesday engaged the Guyana Trade Union Congress in a formal meeting. Discussions addressed key labor issues affecting workers and employers, with both sides identifying priority areas for collaboration. Minister of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation Zulfikar Ali participated in a productive sensitization session in Regions 4, 3, and 5. The outreach sessions are being held ahead of the launch of the new Guyana Development Bank, an initiative designed to expand access to financing and support small businesses. A new Anna Regina police station was commissioned in Region 2 at a cost of over $185 million. The station will improve policing services, including specialized holding areas and support spaces. Minister of Home Affairs Honorable Unej Waldron delivered a feature address stating the investment reflects the government's commitment to stronger public safety and better service for residents of Cameroon Supinam. The Ministry of Natural Resources, along with the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, commenced a series of lotteries. Minister Vikram Bharat attended the launch of the lottery in Region 1. He encouraged responsible mining practices with environmental awareness and urged miners to sell their gold legitimately through the Guyana Gold Board. Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh represented Guyana at the 2026 spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group in Washington, D.C. The discussions focused on the global economy and key international issues. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Sir Brang Shidi commissioned the newly constructed pavilion and sports bar at Lake Mainstay Region 2. The facility is expected to function as a hub for social gatherings and economic activity while also improving the visitor experience at Lake Mainstay. That wraps up another week on Guyana's path to transformation. This is the President's Diary, your weekly reflection on the engagements, initiatives, and national service led by His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, from strengthening communities and advancing critical infrastructure to promoting peace, unity, and the rule of law. This edition captures a week of purposeful leadership in action. Across a range of engagements, the focus remains clear: building a resilient economy where every citizen can access opportunity and thrive in a nation on the rise. Speaking at the Rotary Club of Georgetown's World Understanding and Peace Dinner, President Ali called on citizens to uplift one another and treat nation building as a shared responsibility, urging Guyanese to embrace humility, kindness, and understanding as the foundation for a strong and united nation. President Ali said that peace must be lived daily in homes, communities, and institutions. It was a remarkable day on Sunday when President Ali commissioned the Guyana-China Friendship Park on the west bank of Demerara. The modern recreational space symbolizes the strong and growing relationship between Guyana and China. Formerly known as Jovera Park, the upgraded facility now offers a vibrant mix of amenities that create a welcoming space for community life and leisure.
It is therefore fitting that this park, a symbol of friendship between Guyana and China, should be located here in West Demerara. For it is on this very soil, watered by the labor and sacrifice of those first indentured souls, that a human thread of connection between our two peoples were first woven.
President Ali met with fuel importers on Monday to ensure that Guyanese are not affected by any logistical delays having to do with the delivery of fuel. The head of state was assured by fuel importers that there will not be any disruption of essential fuel supplies. Neighborhood democratic councils across Region 3 are now equipped with new garbage trucks as part of a national push to improve sanitation and waste management. At a handing over ceremony on Monday at the Lenore Track and Field Ground, President Ali emphasized that the initiative is designed to strengthen local systems while complementing private sector service.
We all of us have a responsibility to invest in our conscience, to invest in good behavior, to invest in the most basic form of discipline, to take care of our garbage.
Justice Demoun Young was sworn in as the Justice of Appeal on Tuesday at a ceremony presided over by President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. The President congratulated her and underscored the Court of Appeal as a key pillar of justice and legal coherence, noting that her elevation strengthens both the judiciary and the nation's legal system.
It is therefore with profound respect and sincere pleasure that I extend heartfelt congratulations to Justice Dimon Young on her elevation to the appellate bench. Her ascension marks not only a personal milestone of distinction, but also a strengthening of our judiciary.
On Thursday, President Ali paid tribute to Kadim Gordon, a dedicated young member of the People's Progressive Party Civic, remembering his professionalism, compassion, and unwavering commitment to those around him. The president extended sincere condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones during this time of profound loss, while honoring his service and wishing him eternal peace. President Ali attended the grand opening of Guyana's first privately owned eye hospital, the Optic Eye Hospital. The event marked a major milestone in the country's healthcare development and was also attended by senior government officials and diplomatic representatives. We leave you with these images of President Ali and the Chinese acrobatic troupe challenging the impossible at State House. That concludes this week's episode of the President's Diary, reflecting the service and statesmanship of His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you another edition.
A new chapter of opportunities unfolding in Region 6 as 84 persons living with disabilities graduated with newly acquired skills on Friday. The training program was facilitated by the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning's Board of Industrial Training, BIT, in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady. Here, students learned a wide range of practical and income-generating fields, including commercial food preparation, pastry making, floral arrangement, crafts production, painting, and small electronic repair skills.
I just completed art, which is a great thing because since small, growing up is one of the things I dream of doing. And from going to the class so far, learning much, and it was really impressive. The teachers there, they were really patient, kind. They see you through in every step.
I'm so glad that I could able to do craft and floral because I learned a lot. Things I never do, I do, and I did not expect I could have do it like that. But by the grace of God, with God, all things are possible.
First Lady Arya Ali attended the graduation ceremony where she underscored the importance of the newly opened Empower Guyana building in providing inclusive opportunities for persons with disabilities.
Programs like this one are also designed to support the President's undertaking to incorporate 5,000 persons living with disabilities into the workforce. But our effort for persons with disabilities will not stop at skills training and job creation. We will continue to build upon existing social protection programs such as cash grants, public assistance, the provision of assistive aids, and the construction of facilities like this center which prioritize accessibility and inclusion of persons with disabilities.
I'm so glad that we could have come at the Disability Center in Port Guyana, that we can able to do. We have to be grateful for the First Lady, Mistress Ariana Ali, and the Board of Industrial, that we can able to learn a new skill that we can enhance ourselves.
Persons with disability, I think is a really great opportunity because before, persons with disability then had a really opportunity of going out there, show their talent. And most people look down on you and they say, what can you do, a person with disability or one hand or one foot, what can you do? But after First Lady decided to open this, build this place, make it for persons with disability, we feel loved and we feel appreciated, we feel wanted.
This week's President's Diary highlights the steady momentum of a nation moving forward with confidence and clear direction. His Excellency President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali underscores a results-driven agenda shaped by strategic investment, from advancing infrastructure and deepening diplomatic engagement to promoting growth in health, agriculture, and tourism. The week's engagements reflect a focused commitment to building a modern Guyana. The head of state on Monday commissioned the $6 billion Arby Barker Road, a major upgrade that strengthens connectivity between Ogle and Eccles. The 4.4-kilometer corridor is now a modern 4-lane highway with improved drainage, sidewalks, lighting, and signage.
This historic roadway has been transformed into a modern 4-lane thoroughfare, built for the Guyana of today and prepared for the Guyana of tomorrow. This road now links South Georgetown more efficiently to the rest of the city. It connects communities directly to the Heroes Highway. It creates faster access to businesses and developments along that corridor. It strengthens movement towards the Eccles to Ogle 4-lane highway and onward to the East Coast.
President Ali received the letters of credence from the new British High Commissioner to Guyana, Joseph Guy Fisher. Discussions were held on strengthening bilateral relations between Guyana and the United Kingdom, with a focus on healthcare, education, security, climate change, biodiversity, environmental services, tourism, and infrastructure. At the Office of the President, President Ali received a letter from German's Chancellor Friedrich Merz, affirming his country's commitment to join the Guyana-led Global Biodiversity Alliance. The message praised the President's leadership in biodiversity conservation and pledged support, while discussions also focused on strengthening ties between Guyana and Germany. President Ali met with a European Union delegation to examine trade relations between Guyana and the European Union. The discussions highlighted strong interest from the EU Investment Bank to support Guyana's development priorities, including health, education, climate, energy security, and expanding the orange economy. Addressing the CARPA Annual Health Research Conference at the Artichon Conference Center, President Ali said the Caribbean has plenty of good health ideas, but struggles to move forward because of weak systems, limited funding, not enough trained workers, and low trust in institutions.
Today we are living through a paradox in global healthcare. Never before has humanity possessed so many tools to improve health outcomes. We have artificial intelligence capable of reading scans in seconds. We have digital platforms that connect patients to clinics across continents. We have precision public health systems that can map disease in real time. We have new financing models that promise to stretch scarce resources further than ever before.
On Wednesday, at the 52nd General Meeting of the South American Commission for the Fight Against Foot and Mouth Disease, COSALFA, in Georgetown, President Ali highlighted Guyana's rise as an agricultural powerhouse and key driver of Caribbean food security.
Our nation has hosted this distinguished gathering in 2008. Today, we return as a transformed country, a rising agricultural powerhouse, a leader in animal health, and one of the countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, along with Brazil, Bolivia, Belize, Dominican Republic, Peru, Suriname, and Chile, which are designated free of foot and mouth disease without vaccination.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said on Thursday that artificial intelligence is essential to achieving Guyana's goal of a world-class health system. Addressing a national seminar on AI in healthcare at the Guyana Marriott Hotel, he noted that the key issue is not whether AI will influence healthcare, but how it will be effectively organized, regulated, and integrated into national development plans.
The fact that we are gathered here to examine the role
of adaptive intelligence, artificial intelligence, in health is itself a signal of how seriously Guyana is taking the transformation of its healthcare system. We meet at a moment when the possibilities of what I will call new artificial intelligence, faster, more adaptive, more deeply embedded into decision-making, are no longer theoretical. AI is already reshaping how care is delivered.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali met with Guyanese boxer Elton Dari and his Tanzanian opponent Salim Kasim to extend best wishes ahead of their IBU Super Bantamweight title fight on Saturday night at the new Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center, where an 8-bout card including 4 amateur fights will take place. On Thursday, President Ali officially opened the 172 4 points by Sheraton at Houston along Heroes Highway, marking a major boost to Guyana's accommodation capacity and tourism infrastructure as the country continues to attract more visitors. The new hotel also reflects growing investor confidence, with Guyana increasingly viewed as a strong and exciting growth destination where investments are driven by certainty and long-term opportunity rather than risk.
We are building not for headlines, but for generations. And we're able to do so not only because of government spending, but because of private investment. For us, investment is not a slogan. Investment is not a line in a report. Investment changes lives and makes a real difference in the lives of people. Now that this hotel is complete, the multiply effect does not end, it accelerates. Dozens of permanent jobs will now be created. Front desk staff, housekeeping teams, chefs, servers, managers, security officers, maintenance personnel, drivers, accountants, and IT technicians. When a major hotel opens, local farmers can supply produce. Local fishermen can supply seafood. Local manufacturers can provide goods. Local transport operators gain customers. Local entertainers gain bookings. Local contractors gain work. Local entrepreneurs see new markets emerge. And this hotel specifically pays specific attention to local content and local creation. If you examine their menu, you will see that it is inspired by local cuisine, local spices. Everything they do here is really inspired by the Guyanese life.
This brings us to the end of this week's President's Diary, capturing the ongoing service and leadership of His Excellency, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to another edition.
So this hotel is made for the local community and for the business travelers alike. It is the most diverse property we have in Guyana at the moment. We have 172 rooms, and including 6 suites. We have 3 meeting rooms in the building. We have our Amara social restaurant where we bring Guyanese flavors to life. This is the place where the local community meets to celebrate their personal milestones, to their personal family meals, to celebrate or to just have a great meal, enjoying our hospitality. Outside of the hotel, we have a 25-meter swimming pool. So if you enjoy swimming and you really like exercise, this gives you a real exercise. It's a half Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a pickleball court. This is half a tennis court. So the rackets and the balls are different, so it's a bit slower. They say it's for old people. I think it's a good exercise. Then we have a tennis court, so that I don't need to do much explanations. We have a lot of lounge areas in the garden where our guests can enjoy our cocktails and enjoy the outdoors if we have not too much of liquid sunshine. We have a lobby bar where we serve crafted cocktails, wines, beverages, where we serve, of course, the best beer in the world, our Banks beer from Guyana. And this is really the place where our hotel guests meet after work, where the local community comes to enjoy our margaritas, to enjoy our whiskey sours, our crafted cocktails. So our bartenders are very skilled in doing magic with drinks. So overall, the hotel is very lively. There's a lot of activity for our guests if they stay with us. We also have a gym, what is very well equipped. So anything to keep you healthy after you enjoyed our hospitality in our restaurant, enjoying our Guyanese flavors, enjoy the art our chefs are preparing in the kitchen. So you don't need to worry about your weight. You can work it out in our gym or in the swimming pool or on the tennis court. They had a vision for Guyana, and they saw how the country is developing, and they saw that there is a market for a hotel what is not only catering for the business traveler, what is a hotel what is embedded in Guyana, what is embedded in the culture and the local look and feel. What I want to say is if you walk around, we have a lot of greens, it's all local plants. If you walk through the hotel, there's a lot of touches what was done by the Amerindian people, what is in every room, what is in the restaurant, what is in the front office. So this is a hotel to stay in. It is a hotel for Guyana. It's a Guyanese hotel for the locals, where we work with the local community for them to come and enjoy our hospitality. And also we want to develop the local community with giving them opportunities to have professional jobs, to grow as a professional with us in our country.
Residents turned out in their numbers as the newly upgraded Aubrey Barker Road was officially opened on Monday, marking a major transformation for communities across South Georgetown.
Well, the road was terrible, full of bumps, big holes and so, but it's nice now that the road do. And we have a shop right down there. I have another friend, we work together, and the shop is doing wonderful now that the road do, so people are able access to get to our shop.
Well, it's a very great project. I live right across the road. The place was bushy before, and I see a difference now, and it's a great initiative.
For the last time I came on this road, it was very deplorable. I mean, before then it was narrow. So for me, this initiative is great. And I like the way how it's linking the communities. This shows that Guyana is on the rise.
What was once a narrow, deteriorated route, Aubrey Barker Road is now a modern 4-lane carriageway with covered drains, sidewalks, cycle lanes, and improved safety features. The $6 billion project began in 2022 and spans about 4.4 kilometers. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali described the project as a critical part of a wider transport network connecting South Georgetown to Ogle and onto the East Coast.
This historic roadway has been transformed into a modern 4-lane thoroughfare, built for the Guyana of today and prepared for the Guyana of tomorrow. This road now links South Georgetown more efficiently to the rest of the city. It connects communities directly to the Heroes Highway. It creates faster access to businesses and developments along that corridor. It strengthens movement towards the Eccles to Ogle 4-lane highway and onward to the East Coast.
Even before the official opening, President Ali noted that the new road had already started to transform the economic landscape. Property values along the corridor have surged, with lands that once held modest value now attracting major interest from buyers and investors. Businesses are also expected to grow as the improved route allows for easier movement of goods and services, reducing congestion and travel costs.
Aubrey Barker Road is not
an isolated project. It is a strategic project. It is not a local upgrade. It is part of a national upgrade of the road transport system.
With better connectivity, reduced travel times, and upgraded infrastructure, Aubrey Barker is already being viewed as a catalyst for continued growth in South Georgetown.
Protocols and standards in occupational safety and health will be enforced. Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning Keoma Griffith made a statement following the annual Occupational Safety and Health Walk Sunday morning.
We will continue to work with every agency represented here so that all of our workers are protected and that they work in the best environment possible.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, said more attention must be given to employees, particularly regarding their mental health and well-being.
It is making sure that the environment is free from every other thing that can impact on us negatively, like sexual exploitation, harassment, and all of those things we don't like to talk about. And I want to say that we are contributing to this through the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security.
The walk commenced at the Square of Revolution and concluded at the Kingston Seawall Esplanade. 51 agencies participated in the exercise.
Here at the Humana, Guyana has joined the Caribbean in launching Vaccination Week 2026, a major push to protect lives through immunization. The initiative highlights the government's continued investment in healthcare, ensuring that citizens have access to life-changing vaccines and stronger protection against preventable diseases. Guyana and the Caribbean have officially launched Vaccination Week 2026. Regional and local health leaders used the event to highlight major gains in vaccine coverage, while warning that misinformation still threatens public health. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, highlighted the government's immunization target.
We are not limiting this vaccine just to coastlanders. We want this vaccine to be across this country so that every single person who is eligible can have access to it. The only barrier right now is to make sure that we get the children out, get the women between 16 and 45 to come and get the vaccine. So I hope that during this month that we spend enough time to get people out, sensitize them, bring them out, and make sure that by the end of this month, we'll be able to not just do 26,000, but I'm looking for at least 60,000 people being vaccinated.
Dr. Anthony said the campaign forms part of a wider public health strategy to protect citizens, reduce preventable illnesses, and expand access to life-saving vaccines across every region of the country. Meanwhile, advisor for the Regional Expanded Program on Immunization, EPI, Dr. Karen Brooms, launched the 2026 Caribbean Immunization Manual.
This manual is built for the reality of every national immunization program in the Caribbean. It brings together in one place everything related to the expanded program on immunization. It also reflects something we sometimes take for granted, that immunization is not only about children, it is about protection across the life course. It is adolescents receiving HPV vaccines to safeguard their future, pregnant women protecting themselves and their babies, healthcare workers shielding themselves from communicable diseases, and older persons protecting themselves in their golden years.
Dr. Brooms also launched Phase 1 of the Caribbean Cervical Cancer Prevention Campaign titled In My Hand, which focuses on encouraging HPV vaccination and confronting misinformation.
it's time for this episode of Weekly Digest, a look at what our ministers have been up to across the country. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Susan Rodriguez on Thursday joined President Ali at the official opening of the Four Points by Sheraton Georgetown. She noted that the arrival of the Marriott International brand reflects strong investor confidence in Guyana.
Under the leadership of President Ali, Guyana has been undergoing a period of rapid economic growth and structural development. Within that broader national context, tourism has emerged as a key sector with tremendous potential, not only as a driver of economic diversification, but as a platform for showcasing our country's culture and natural assets to the world.
The Massey Foundation was officially launched on Wednesday at its Montrose location on the east coast of Demerara, with Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindhya Prasad delivering the feature address. Allottees of the Plantation Lenora West Housing Scheme, West Coast Demerara, on Tuesday began signing their agreements of sale at the Ministry of Housing's Breakdown Office. Minister of Housing Colin Crowell and Minister within the Ministry of Housing, Vanessa Ben, engaged several allottees and presented their agreements of sale during the exercise. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa on Wednesday launched a brackish water stream project on the Essequibo coast, pointing to the success of a similar initiative in Region 6, where strong support and investment have driven a thriving aquaculture industry. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Egil highlighted that Guyana's rapid progress continues as the government commissioned the $6 billion, 4.4-kilometer Aubrey-Barker 4-lane highway, a major upgrade set to ease traffic congestion, improve safety, and boost economic activity.
This was always a possibility. We didn't buy new lands. This was always here. Ask yourself how it didn't happen before. Vision. And that's something you can't stop where the People's Progressive Party Civic is concerned. Vision.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said Guyana is steadily advancing toward a modern data-driven healthcare system with plans to integrate artificial intelligence into medical practice and public health delivery. Speaking at an AI seminar at the Guyana Marriott Hotel in Kingston, Georgetown on Thursday, he said the country is shifting from reactive treatment to predictive, precise, and evidence-based care.
There are rare moments in history when a technology redefines a field, not just improves it, but artificial intelligence is bringing that moment to all of us. In medicine, it signifies a paradigm shift, not just progress, a shift from intuition alone to intelligence augmented by data, from a reactive care to predictive systems, from generalized treatment to precision medicine.
Minister of Education Sonia Parak commissioned a new training block at the Maikuni Technical and Vocational Training Center. The center boosts the capacity from just over 300 to more than 500 students with 8 modern classrooms. She said the expansion reflects the government's commitment to strengthening the vet and expanding access to skills training. Minister of Labor and Manpower Planning, Keoma Griffith, alongside officials from the Occupational Safety and Health Department, visited Guyana Shore Base Incorporated to assess its operations with a strong focus on workplace safety and health. The theme toured the facility engaging with management and staff while reviewing safety systems, hazard prevention measures, and compliance with national OSH standards. Minister of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation, Zulfikar Ali attended opening of the Business Expo 2026 hosted by the Linden Chamber of Industry, Commerce and Development. He affirmed the government's focus on efficiency, private sector growth, and sustainable development, while noting the Expo's role in promoting innovation, networking, and business opportunities. Minister of Home Affairs Onage Waldron said the commissioning of the new EQ police station in Region 7 reflects the government of Guyana's commitment to equitable development and stronger national security as part of a wider $2 billion expansion of policing infrastructure in the hinterland. The $62.5 million facility is intended to improve law enforcement presence, response time, and public safety in the area. Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh attended a One Caribbean Ministerial Dialogue in Port of Spain under the theme Building Resilience Through Regional Collaboration, where discussions focused on food resilience, CARICOM's goal to reduce food imports by 25% and 4.6 million tons by 2030, and the need for a climate-smart agri-food system, stronger trade and transport links, and removal of intra-regional barriers, alongside appreciation for the IDB's One Caribbean initiative in supporting regional resilience. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Sarah Brown-Shidik is leading a national delegation to the 25th session of the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues from 20th April to 1st May 2026 under the theme Ensuring Indigenous Peoples' Health, including in the context of conflict, highlighting Guyana's commitment to indigenous well-being and development. Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation Deodat Indar highlighted that the reopening of the Potroin Portal refilling station marks a major step in expanding access to safe and affordable water, as Guyana Water Incorporated rolls out 15 additional stations nationwide. Residents can now refill 5-gallon bottles for just $100 at the upgraded facility, which is directly connected to treatment plants to ensure clean and high-quality water. That wraps up another week on Guyana's path to transformation.
Guyana is strengthening its occupational safety and health systems, with greater emphasis on stricter standards and a shift towards prevention. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips said on Tuesday that Guyana has already aligned its systems with international standards amid rapid economic growth. Prime Minister Phillips said as industries expand, safety and mental health must be given priority.
Workers who are afforded the space to rest, engage with their families, and maintain a sense of personal stability are healthier, more focused, and far less prone to error. In this way, work-life balance becomes a critical safeguard, directly reinforcing the psychosocial well-being of employees.
Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning, Keoma Griffith, noted that progress has been made to advance inspections and enforcement.
In Guyana, we have had meaningful strides in advancing occupational safety and health. This progress has been underpinned by the re-establishment of the Ministry of Labour and Manpower Planning and increased enforcement activities across all 10 regions here in Guyana. A central pillar of our approach has been the strengthening of occupational safety and health systems to manage climate-related and emerging workplace risks.
Over 6,000 inspections were conducted between 2020 and 2025, benefiting thousands of workers and reducing workplace incidents. The symposium forms part of the ministry's continued efforts to promote safer workplaces and strengthen occupational safety and health standards across Guyana.
The government's push to strengthen small business development is gaining momentum with the commissioning of the new Business Incubator Center and Agro-Processing Facility in Lethem Region 9. The $181 million facility, developed by the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce and implemented through the Small Business Bureau, is designed to support entrepreneurs with training, technical guidance, and access to modern agro-processing equipment.
I feel really proud. I wish this could have happened in my younger days because I used to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, scrape cassava, grate it, before I go to school and then come back and still find the castle for them done do. And then get my start math P until maybe 9, 10 o'clock we finish parching whatever we have to do.
I feel very excited that Region 9 is finally having their moment, and the thousands of mangoes that are going to waste can finally be put to use. And the most important thing that all of this is happening for free. So those who have their produce can now bring their stuff and make use of this.
Outfitted with dehydrators, washers, industrial blenders, packaging machines, and other specialized tools, the facility will allow small producers to move beyond raw agricultural produce and into value-added products. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Susan Rodriguez, said the initiative is part of the broader effort to build long-term economic resilience.
Today's expansion marks a significant step forward with new equipment and upgraded systems. This facility now has the capacity to support large-scale agro processing. This means farmers and entrepreneurs can move beyond selling raw produce to creating value-added goods that are market-ready and competitive both locally and internationally. Our commitment to ensuring these facilities are fully operational is driven by a clear objective: to equip our citizens with the means to generate income, grow their businesses, and build long-term economic resilience.
Additional plans include the establishment of a sales depot to improve market access, cold storage facilities to reduce post-harvest losses, and a collaboration with the Guyana National Bureau of Standards to support the Made in Guyana certification. Training will also play a vital role, with programs focused on digital readiness, product labeling, and marketing, alongside a business clinic set for July.
It's government's job to create an enabling environment. I think we can say that that has been successfully achieved here. I think this is the opportunity for Rupununi people to start to create generational wealth, moving from subsistence to really being people of substance in terms of economic growth.
Here at the Guyana, Guyana has joined the Caribbean in launching Vaccination Week 2026, a major push to protect lives through immunization. The initiative highlights the government's continued investment in healthcare, ensuring that citizens have access to life-changing vaccines and stronger protection against preventable diseases. Guyana and the Caribbean have officially launched Vaccination Week 2026. Regional and local health leaders used the event to highlight major gains in vaccine coverage, while warning that misinformation still threatens public health. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, highlighted the government's immunization target.
We are not limiting this vaccine just to coastlanders. We want this vaccine to be across this country so that every single person who's eligible can have access to it. The only barrier right now is to make sure that we get the children out, get the women between 16 and 45 to come and get the vaccine. So I hope that during this month that we spend enough time to get people out, sensitize them, bring them out, and make sure that by the end of this month, we'll be able to not just do 26,000, but I'm looking for at least 60,000 people being vaccinated.
Dr. Anthony said the campaign forms part of a wider public health strategy to protect citizens, reduce preventable illnesses, and expand access to life-saving vaccines across every region of the country. Meanwhile, advisor for the Regional Expanded Program on Immunization, EPI, Dr. Karen Brooms, launched the 2026 Caribbean Immunization Manual.
This manual is built for the reality of every national immunization program in the Caribbean. It brings together in one place everything related to the expanded program on immunization. It also reflects something we sometimes take for granted, that immunization is not only about children, it is about protection across the life course. It is adolescents receiving HPV vaccines to safeguard their future, pregnant women protecting themselves and their babies, healthcare workers shielding themselves from communicable diseases, and older persons protecting themselves in their golden years.
Dr. Brooms also launched Phase 1 of the Caribbean Cervical Cancer Prevention Campaign titled In My Hand, which focuses on encouraging HPV vaccination and confronting misinformation.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has assured hundreds of rice farmers that the government will stand by the industry through the current wave of external economic shocks. The assurance comes as the impact of the US-Iran war is disrupting supply chains and driving up the cost of fertilizer and fuel. President Ali said the agri-sector is most vulnerable to rising costs.
It took a toll on price, and we had to intervene and to give not only the subsidy on fertilizer, but that additional help on every bag of production. From then to now, we have seen what is taking place with markets and the geopolitical situation around the world.
The president said his government will continue to support farmers across Guyana, announcing $3 billion in relief efforts. The farmers themselves decided the format in which the funds would be received. The farmers chose direct cash transfers, which will be distributed in the following way: $15,000 per acre for farmers with less than 50 acres of rice fields, and $10,000 per acre for farmers with more than 50 acres of rice fields. President Ali also highlighted ongoing drainage and irrigation works in Regions 5 and 6, including the construction of approximately 125 kilometers of dams, rehabilitation of 841 kilometers of canals, and the installation of 39 fixed pumps and 40 mobile pumps, funded through Guyana's carbon credit.
The National Grade 6 Assessment (NGSA) examinations began on Wednesday. Students of the new Diamond Grove Primary School received encouraging words from Minister of Education Sonia Parag. Minister Parag urged them to not panic and be calm throughout their examinations.
What I've learned is that you just focus on what's there and don't worry about pressures. You just read like you're in class and you're going through one of your papers, and you are reading and trying to understand, and focus on your paper. Don't be distracted. Today and tomorrow, these days are not the days to be distracted.
Before exiting the school, Minister Parag highlighted the interventions of the ministry to assist students with their preparations for the exams.
We've also been, in a short space of time, set up tents, NGSA tents at various schools, and I believe this was one of the schools, or in this area, there was a maths tent that was set up specifically for grade 6 students, as well as across the country. Schedules were sent out, and it brought students from different schools together and taught by different teachers in specific topic areas so that they would be able to strengthen their knowledge in those areas and prepare them better for these exams. So there were quite a number of initiatives. We have started this year long-term solutions in terms of the literacy assessment for grades 2 and grade 4. And that will necessarily lead to comprehension, which is necessary in the reading skills that they need to comprehend questions when they are answering exams.
Minister Parag announced a new initiative to be launched in 2027.
So in 2027, we plan to launch the numeracy assessment that will, of course, help with mathematics. But I have no doubt that our grade 6 students will perform well for NGSA, given the interventions, the investment, the resources that we have provided in terms of textbooks, in terms of past papers, all that have been available through the Ministry of Education. And we have encouraged not only teachers and students, but parents to access what we have available so that students can better prepare themselves for these exams.
The minister said that reforms are underway at the Cyril Potter College of Education to improve the curriculum and better prepare teachers entering the school system. A total of 15,935 students will be writing the National Grade 6 Assessment examination from April 29th to 30th.
This year, as we align with the International Labour Organization's theme, we are reminded that occupational safety and health is not optional, it is fundamental.
Workplace safety took center stage on Main Street on Wednesday. Sponsored by the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning, SBM Offshore, and Exxon, the Occupational Safety and Health Village intends to encourage workplace safety practices.
A safe workplace is not merely the absence of accidents. It is the presence of systems, cultures, and leadership that place people first.
The displays highlight the importance of creating a favorable mental and physical environment for workers.
And you may ask yourself, why a village? And the answer is simple, because it takes a village. If we are truly going to put safety first, if we are going to change the paradigm of how we approach health and safety, if we are going to make changes, well, then it counts on all of us. The ILO has made it clear that good psychosocial health is important on the job, and this is something that the government of Guyana is dedicated to ensuring that every worker is able to come to work and have decent work in a decent environment so that they can achieve their optimum best. And so that is why we're here today, because safety depends on all of us.
The Health and Safety Village, coupled with a job fair, is also an opportunity for working men and women to learn, network, and bring about tangible change.
The government is encouraging students to connect with nature. During the Earth Day exhibition at the Guyana-China Friendship Park on Monday, Minister of Education Sonia Parag urged students to ditch their phones and marvel at the natural environment. Minister Parag also told students that their generation will be putting Guyana on the map for positive reasons. To attract students to the wonders of the natural world, local agencies came to the park to display their work with nature.
It is now time for this week's episode of Weekly Digest, a look at what our ministers have been up to across the country. The government's push to strengthen small business development is gaining momentum with the commissioning of a new business incubator center and agro-processing facility in Lethem, Region 9. The $181 million facility, developed by the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce and implemented through the Small Business Bureau, is designed to support entrepreneurs with training, technical guidance, and access to modern agro-processing equipment.
Today's expansion marks a significant step forward with new equipment and upgraded systems. This facility now has the capacity to support large-scale agro-processing. This means farmers and entrepreneurs can move beyond selling raw produce to creating value-added goods that are market-ready and competitive both locally and internationally. Our commitment to ensuring these facilities are fully operational is driven by a clear objective: to equip our citizens with the means to generate income, grow their businesses, and build long-term economic resilience.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindya Prasad said more attention must be given to employees, particularly regarding their mental health and well-being.
It is making sure that the environment is free from every other thing that can impact on us negatively, like sexual exploitation, harassment, and all of those things we don't like to talk about. And I want to say that we are contributing to this through the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security.
The National Grade 6 Assessment NGSA examinations began on Wednesday. Students of the New Diamond Grove Primary School received encouraging words from Minister of Education Sonia Parag. Minister Parag urged them to not panic and be calm throughout their examinations.
What I've learned is that you just focus on what's there and don't worry about pressures. You just read like you're in class and you're going through one of your papers, and you are reading and trying to understand, and focus on your paper. Don't be distracted. Today and tomorrow, these days are not the days to be distracted.
Following the annual Occupational Safety and Health Walk on Sunday morning, Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning, Kioma Griffith, said more protocols and standards in occupational safety and health will be enforced.
We will continue to work with every agency represented here so that all of our workers are protected and that they work in the best environment possible.
Minister Griffith reinforced that same message on Wednesday when workplace safety took center stage on Main Street.
This year, as we align with the International Labour Organization's theme, we are reminded that occupational safety and health is not optional. It is fundamental. It is the backbone of productivity, dignity, and sustainable national development.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips said on Tuesday that Guyana has already aligned its systems with international standards amid rapid economic growth. Speaking at the Occupational Safety and Health OSH Symposium 2026 at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, Prime Minister Phillips said as industries expand, safety and mental health must be given priority.
Workers who are afforded the space to rest, engage with their families, and maintain a sense of personal stability are healthier, more focused, and far less prone to error. In this way, work-life balance becomes a critical safeguard, directly reinforcing the psychosocial well-being of employees.
On Friday, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony arrived in Port Kaituma, Region 1 to commission a new operating suite, digital X-ray machine, maternal and child health building, vector control center, and a maternity waiting home. The district hospital in Region 1 is now better positioned to deliver quality care and services to residents and neighboring communities. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, on Tuesday distributed 10 garbage compactor trucks to neighborhood democratic councils along the east coast and east bank of Demerara, Region 4.
This forms part of the ongoing nationwide rollout to strengthen solid waste management systems. And with that, we have wrapped up another week on Guyana's path to transformation.
Welcome to the President's Diary, your weekly journey through leadership and action, where decisions aren't just made, they're lived. Join us as we follow President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali in a week filled with service, strategy, and pride.
The head of state was ringside to witness Guyanese boxer Elton Dari make history by capturing the International Boxing Organization Super Bantamweight World title. Dari was up against Tanzania's Salmin Kasim at the Pegasus Hotel and Suites courtyard on Sunday night. The 40-year-old Dari thrilled patrons and most assuredly the president in a 12-round showdown before being unanimously declared the winner. Dari expressed gratitude to President Ali, crediting him with motivating his return to serious training. The president wrote to CARICOM's chairman and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, formally objecting to Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez's public display of a brooch that included Guyana's Essequibo region. CARICOM responded swiftly, supporting Guyana's sovereignty and making it clear that communities should not be used to advance any claims currently before the ICJ. The head of state has assured hundreds of rice farmers that the government will stand by the industry through the current wave of external economic shocks. Assurance comes as the US-Iranian conflict creates a series of economic convulsions that threaten to impact several sectors, with agriculture among those most exposed.
It took a toll on price, and we had to intervene and to give not only the subsidy on fertilizer, but that additional help on every bag of production. From then to now, we have seen what is taking place with markets and the geopolitical situation around the world.
Despite this, the president said his government will continue to support farmers across Guyana, announcing $3 billion in relief efforts. The farmers decided the format in which the funds would be extended. From the waterfront strikes of the early 20th century to the blood spilled on the sugar estates in 1948, Guyana's working class has always been at the heart of the country's most defining moments, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has said. In an early morning address to mark Labor Day, also known as Workers' Day, the president said this year's observance carries particular weight as Guyana marks 60 years of independence.
I pray that God continue to bless all the workers of our country, all those who endeavor to use their energies and their strength to make our country better, to make humanity better, to make society better. All those who labor in their homes to keep their families stronger, to take care of their children, and to take care of those around them.
Hosting thousands of workers from across sectors at a Labor Day brunch on the lawns of State House on Friday, the head of state noted that his government is focused not only on enhancing the lives of the workforce, but also on creating generous pension plans and access to services that continuously improve livelihoods. Over the next few days, President Ali will be in Houston, Texas, with a delegation of over 100 persons to deliver the keynote address at this year's Offshore Technology Conference. We will be bringing you all of the updates on that, so stay tuned to DPI across all of our platforms.
That's a wrap on this edition of President's Diary. Join us again next time as we continue to follow the footsteps of leadership.
Students of Sophia Primary School are now benefiting from improved learning facility following the commissioning of a new wing on Wednesday. The extension includes 9 new classrooms, a headmistress office, deputy headmistress office, and a dedicated auditorium. During the commissioning ceremony, Minister of Education Sonia Parag encouraged students to care for their school environment and maintain cleanliness within the compound.
In and out of our school environment, we have to keep our surroundings clean. It is upon us to take pride in our environment. It is upon us when we leave this country that we can say with conviction and with pride that our country is a clean country, but it starts with us. It starts with each one of us. And it starts with all of you. If you see someone litter, tell them it's wrong. Tell them pick it up. You do not litter. Keep your environment clean. Keep your school environment clean.
The investment forms part of the government's continued efforts to improve education infrastructure across the country. Minister Parag also warned against violence and bullying in schools while encouraging students to take pride in their surroundings and education. She noted that over the past 5 years, more than 100 new schools have either commenced construction or are nearing completion. According to Minister Parag, the expansion of educational infrastructure is helping to improve access to quality education for children in every region.
We are building classrooms, we are building schools. In the last 5 years, over 100 schools have commenced and will be completed, giving access to thousands of children across the country and communities across the country so that children don't have to struggle, parents don't have to struggle with far distances to ensure that their children get an education. And education is very important.
The new wing at Sophia Primary, costing $233 million, is expected to provide a more comfortable and modern learning environment for both students and teachers.
Care that we'll be providing would go up. And that's the ultimate goal, because across this country, we want everybody to enjoy the same quality of care.
Pregnant women of the Matakai Subdistrict in Region 1 who require emergency care no longer have to be airlifted to Georgetown. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, recently commissioned a maternal waiting home, a modern operating theater, and several additional facilities at the Port Kaituma District Hospital.
We are at the Port Kaituma Hospital, and today one of the things that we were able to do is to open the maternal waiting home. Here, persons from various villages around the sub-region would be able to come to the hospital when they're pregnant, they'll wait, and when they're ready to deliver their baby, they'll go safely across to the hospital. After delivery, they come back to this waiting home, and again, their families would be able to get them from here.
The minister noted that the new maternity ward will allow pregnant women to be admitted and cared for before delivery, reducing the need for risky late-stage travel and helping to prevent complications and maternal deaths. Among the other facilities commissioned were an upgraded maternal and child health unit, a GE digital X-ray machine, and a vector control unit. Meanwhile, in the community of Eyelash, Minister Anthony also commissioned a health post. The health post will cater to a population of 150 residents, offering services such as outpatient and general consultation, antenatal and postnatal services, a child wellness clinic, and immunization, amongst others.